Doctor Strange is desperate and possessed by the Void. What is it going to cost him in the end? What's up, everybody? I'm Stan, and welcome to Detail Comics, where we go over comics in detail. This is iRate Reviews, the show where I go over a comic book, its story, its art, give you my impressions, and let you know whether it's something you should go back to the comic book shop for or not. So make sure you subscribe to get more of these every single week. The book that I want to talk about right now is Doctor Strange number 385, which continues the Loki Sorcerer Supreme arc and shows Doctor Strange in his most desperate, possessed by the Void, and fighting Loki with all he's really got. And there's a lot of stuff that's really going to happen in this one, so let's dive in and dissect exactly what's going on in this absolute craziness by Donny Cates and G.H. Walta. Doctor Strange number 385 is here, and that means the end of the Loki Sorcerer Supreme storyline, and overall it has been an ass kicker. As we kind of jump back into the action, we've seen the Void take over Doctor Strange and come face to face with the Asgardian that it once killed inside Brian Michael Bendis' run on Avengers. So as the Void kind of really takes over the mind of Doctor Strange, we still get his narration coming along as we get to see and feel exactly what he's doing while the Void is taken over him. You get the Void's outer kind of vision when it comes to those things as it discovers the spell that's been hidden inside Zelma, but you get to hear Doctor Strange's reaction to that, ultimately dealing with the betrayal, and it causes him to feel remorse for everything that he's done in the past and how it's kind of gotten this far. Of course, now that this has been awakened inside Zelma, there's only one thing to do, and Loki immediately plunges his hand into the center of her chest, tearing the spell from her soul, almost ripping it in two, as these screams, this pain, the power, the contents of these kind of things begin to unravel and burn. All of the magic of Earth has been thrust into Loki's body as he becomes pretty much the embodiment of all of Earth's magic. And this great, fantastic rainbow color scheme. The art by G.H. Walta is amazing. Jordi Belair does a great job kind of adding the texture and the look to this entire thing. And what Loki does is extremely surprising to a lot of people that are reading, because he reaches into the Void and yanks Doctor Strange from inside of it, separating him from that dark entity. Of course, Doctor Strange doesn't have any magic, but Loki has a plan for that as he jams his fist, pounding it into the earth itself, reigniting the ley lines, bringing magic back to those people that need it on Earth. And that's where we kind of bring ourselves to the next real situation, which is, of course, Loki and Doctor Strange, empowered by the World Tree. They both show down Sorcerer Supreme and former Sorcerer Supreme against the Void, and there's all of a sudden boom? What is this boom? Is it a sonic boom? Oh, it's a sonic boom, all right, because what happens is immediately the Sentry, coming from his station where he was holding on to the poor magical essence, the cost of Doctor Strange using this magical power, and just comes barreling out of nowhere, smashing the Void across the face. And the combination of the Sentry, Loki Sorcerer Supreme, and World Tree version Doctor Strange go hand in hand, forcing the Void back into the Sanctum Sanctorum, into the magically sealed room, and ultimately this concussion of Strange's magical energy thrusts him back into his cage, where he's sealed up for God knows how long. Of course, now that they know that they did it, there is a little bit of recourse, a little bit of revenge, a little bit of confrontation that has to happen, because Doctor Strange has been acting very uncharacteristic of himself. And the Sentry is the first person to get his licks in, cracking him across the face, blocked by Loki so that way he doesn't absolutely devastate him and kill him. This leads the Sentry to insist to always just leave him alone. Just let him live the life that he wants to live on the top of his cold mountain in his nice house as he flies off into the distance. This does leave Loki and Doctor Strange going over a few things, but the real key is what Zelma's talking about, because Zelma is insisting that Loki tell Doctor Strange the truth. What kind of truth does he need to reveal? It's the fact that the tournament was never a tournament. There was never anything from the Vishanti. They never declared him not to be the Sorcerer Supreme. It was all a trick. It was all some sort of ruse by Loki to gain the upper hand and control the mantle of Sorcerer Supreme until he could enact his plan. Of course, he does have a pretty solid explanation for it, or at least that's what he thinks he has. He's talking about the War of the Realms, which is happening in Mighty Thor. You talk about Hell on Earth Damnation, which is happening in Las Vegas in the next issue of Doctor Strange in the upcoming miniseries. The Gathering of the Infinity Stones is happening inside Infinity Countdown. The Final Host is from Marvel Legacy issue number 1. These are the things that Doctor Strange has confronted, will confront, and that will lay the future for the Marvel Universe according according to Donny Cates and G.H. Walter, which I thought was pretty goddamn amazing. Of course, Doctor Strange seems to think that it's a line of bullshit. So Loki hands over the Cloak of Levitation, Doctor Strange blinks him out of existence into some sort of portal, and then we find Zelma leaving. That she just can't take it. She just can't be around liars anymore. But Loki did give him a parting gift, if you can call it a gift. And then we see that one person wishes him congratulations. Bats. The astral form of bats. Congratulating the Doctor on a battle well won. But what was the cost? What did he lose in winning? That's the real question. And overall, it concludes a great story arc by Donny Cates and G.H. Walter. I'm a huge fan of Doctor Strange right now. I think it's supremely undersold. I think more people need to be reading it. I'm considering it a must-read comic book for anybody that follows along with me. It's highly recommended. It's one that you have to be buying, especially this first arc. It was a great introduction to the ideas that Don Cates has for the character, and I can't recommend it enough. And of course, G.H. Walter from The Vision and a few other books is just crushing it on the art. I dig it, especially after a Jason Aaron, Chris Bocciolo book. It's a tremendous follow-up. So it's really a recommendation from me, but I want to know what you guys think too, so hit me up in the comments down below and we can start that conversation. As always, if you like what you see, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to get more news, reviews, and commentary on comic books, comic book movies, comic book TV shows and games, and anything and everything inside the world of comics.